sometimes this so-called brotherhood, it's not brotherhood, it borders on gangsterism.
Floyd Shivambu talks about his involvement in the founding of EFF, how he consensualized the EFF, the naming of the party, the 7 cardinal pillars, and founding manifesto, including all key documents.
I'm 41 years old now, but I've been in national leadership structures for more than 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, in terms of how I got to deal with so many issues. So Mkhondo's party is a very important party, and we had to participate in it voluntarily. And I had to take a very bold and sound, possibly best decision to leave the Economic Freedom Fighters, which I played a central role in founding, in terms of how it got to be constructed. It's not a secret that I conceptualized the Economic Freedom Fighters, the name, the references of commissars, commander-in-chief, the 7 cardinal pillars, the founding manifesto, and all its key documents, including the documents which are constituting the Third National People's Assembly. Like I see the core and main document is the document which in my resignation letter I said should guide the organization on organizational redesign. So it's one of those things that had to be done. And also it's also to then get an opportunity to change a wrong narrative which for some reason we had fallen into as a left activist in South Africa.
Shivambu reveals that some of the EFF officials, top NEC members, knew he was leaving the party and joining the MK party. Nakho Khulu, they begged him not to tell Malema. Some even pretended to cry in a meeting of the EFF, whilst they knew throughout that Floyd was leaving. Should kahle kahle la kwi-EFF kunabantu abahleli, hayi ngoba behleli balinde usuku lokuhamba. How do you hide this from your commander-in-chief? Where is Julius Malema's intelligence? How does this happen right under his nose as the CIC? Now, the $1 million question is, who are these officials?
There's good comrades in the EFF who could play a far much more meaningful role in everything. Some of them are very scared. I don't know why they're scared to be expressive and to speak as to what should be the direction of the organization. I heard some of the comrades were saying they were shocked that I went to Mkhondo's. Majority of the leaders of the Economic Freedom Fighters knew that I'm going to join Mkhondo's party. Even in the officials, like some obviously they came to beg me and say, no, please don't tell the president. The president did not know, and I did not see the need to talk to him about it. I canvassed the perspective with everyone else. And then when I later on communicated the decision, then they said, please don't tell him that we knew throughout that you're going to take this progressive decision so that he doesn't look at us with doubt. And then I said, okay, that's fine. I won't tell him that. If you feel telling him like that in the future, you will be able to tell him. And some of them even went to pretend to be crying in the meeting of the Central Command team that, no, we did not know. We were shocked and all of those other things there. So it was a properly canvassed view. It was not a view that I just woke up and everyone else is shocked. It was a properly canvassed perspective that as part of consolidating the revolutionary agenda, we need to take this decision to join Mkhondo's party. And there are those, of course, who had said, let's go, all of us, if you're going. Then I said, I don't think that is a wise decision. You can participate like in EFF and everything else there. But if you decide to join Mkhondo's, it must not appear as if I am responsible for a mass exodus from the EFF. I'm joining individually. Those who join later on because they're convinced about the politics of Mkhondo's, they will do so by themselves individually. That approach of joining as a group and everything else is not sustainable. It's not disciplined. It's not a proper organizational and political culture. So that is what I had said, that those of you who want to join, you can join whatever time you want to join, and will not stop you from doing so. If according to your own political views, you think that you should now join Umkhonto Wesizwe Party. That is why those who join, we welcome them to join from the EFF, from the ANC, from all these other political parties.
Do you expect more to join?
I don't expect more. So, in Umkhonto Wesizwe Party, in the organization, there is a saying that Asbabis bayazizela, like that. We don't call them, they come by themselves. And logically, I'm not surprised that in this conjuncture, it will make sense for those who want to pursue real revolutionary politics to associate with Umkhonto Wesizwe, because it's an organic formation which is fighting for total decolonization. So if you were to go to the interview that we did in the when I was still in the EFF, and then you asked me the question, what is the relationship with the president of the EFF? I said this political relationship, actually made an emphasis on, it's a political relationship that we had. Yeah, and of course, because we work in the same spaces, we'll end up doing so many things together. If there's a family gathering, you'll get to know and then support each other and all of those things there. But the relationship was political relationship. And
that's interesting.
That is how it is. And I have no bad feelings about anyone, like generally. Leave the people that I work with. Generally, I don't have any personal feelings against anyone. Like I relate far much easier with comrades in the ANC. Like I talk to everyone. Like I'll talk to the comrades that we led with in the ANC. Like I talk to Andile Lungisa. I talked to Lebogang Maile for a very long time on the phone. I talked to Lamula, like about so many issues. I talked to everyone. Like I get to have political discussions with them, even if we're in different political organizations. I still talk to some of the comrades in the EFF, except those who feel like they might be doubted for having engagements with me. I generally don't have problems with anyone, but I'm able to distinguish that there's a political relationship and like so-called brotherhood and everything else. Because sometimes this so-called brotherhood, it's not brotherhood. It borders on gangsterism, a gangster relationship that we're together. If a person is wrong, we can't call each other to order. Like you defend each other even when a person is doing wrong things, is now venturing into wrong politics, of being boastful and doing wrong things in public and everything else, and disrespecting people, and then you don't say anything because of brotherhood. You must be able to call out certain things that this is unacceptable and everything else. And if it's realized that, so those things of the personal relationship can't override a political principle in the relations with everyone. So if a comrade misbehaves or does things which you realize that this is wrong, you must be able to call each other to order. Like it's not gangster relationship where you say we'll die together. It doesn't work like that. And Pulemabe was a treasurer general of the ANC Youth League. So I used to say to the president of the ANC Youth League now, current president of the EFF, that me and you are going to be buried next to each other.
Wow.
All the time. And then later on he went to engage in other activities, like to collaborate with those who were dealing with him. Now, I used to say that, I'll never say that. I'll never. Like, if it's a political relationship, like you can't promise to die next to each other in a political relationship. It's based on principle.
Sure.
If principle shifts, then we no longer relate the same way that we related before.